Hello, 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 Christmas Flixers. Welcome back to season 6 of Chicks on Christmas Flicks, where we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. I'm KL Brady, and I am on the last of my back-to-back shows, right? Last episode was all about Hallmark and everything that Hallmark's bringing to countdown to Christmas, at least all the stuff that I'm like super interested in watching. So this episode, I am really going to talk, and we're going to really focus on a few other things. There's a few other releases that I want to talk about, but really it's going to be all about UPTV. Okay, there's a lot on our plate to talk about today, and I want to just get right to it. First things first, St. Nick shoutouts. As always, I love beginning the show. This is my favorite tradition. I'm just thankful to everyone who listens to the show or squeezes the show into their busy day. Because I know we've all got busy days. My days are absolutely insane. That I am finding time to get all these things recorded and done today is insane. It did come at a sacrifice, but I was willing to make that sacrifice because I wanted to get all my shows recorded and get them ready for release this week. So today I'm going to give you the short version of St. Nick shoutouts. I'm going to give some big love to 5 listener locations who have been checking in on the show over the past few weeks. Really, the big things I want to focus on, because I don't know if you guys know, but if you don't know, you're going to know now. I love football season, NFL season. It's like my favorite time of year, except for when my team loses. My team lost today. So I'm really going to be uninterested in everything revolving them in football. But I'll be ready for next week. Anyway. So I want to send out some big love to 5 listener locations this week who have been checking in. Remember, I don't know who you are, but I know where you live. All right. And so my football cities this week. So I've got 4 football cities that have been checking in on the show. Number 1, Houston, Texas. Yay. Thank you so much for joining Houston, Texas. I have a cousin that lives in Sugar Land, and I have been to Houston. I love the city. I've been in the city, and then I've been in the burbs. And I love the city, and I love the burbs. It's wonderful. Number 2, Buffalo, New York. Buffalo, New York. I love this highlight because Holiday Touchdown movie is coming out this year. And it's going to be based, of course, in Buffalo with the Bills Mafia and the Buffalo Bills. So I'm excited. Thank you for joining Buffalo, New York. Number 3 on the list is Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and the whole crew, right? Chris Jones. There's a few people I actually follow and like as football players, as professionals, but I'm never going to root against my team, which is the Washington Commanders. So if your team is playing my team, just know for that week at a minimum, I am not rooting for your team. I am rooting for my team. But I will root for anybody that is not playing for my team. So that's how that works. So it's an insane loyalty. That loyalty also leads me not to watch anything about football the week that they lose, because I don't want to hear about it. I just absolutely do not want to hear anything about them losing. As far as I'm concerned, they only win because I only listen to news about them when they win. All right. Number 4, and you guys got a big new addition over these past few weeks. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Of course, the Packers. Go Packers, go, right? Packers, you guys got Micah. Man, the steal of the century. I wish we could have gotten Micah, because Micah's friends with Jaden Daniels. Well, Micah's friends with a lot of people in the NFL, but he is friends with Jaden Daniels, and I know he loves Dan Quinn because he used to play for Dan Quinn. So it would have been great to have him in Washington. But first of all, I don't know that we have the money to spend on him. Second of all, and most importantly, Jerry was never going to send Micah to the NFC East because he's got to see us twice a year if he comes to somebody else in the NFC East. So, that wasn't going to happen. So, yay for Green Bay. Glad y'all got another. I mean, man, he's a massive weapon. He's just a defensive nightmare. He really is. So, yay for Green Bay. Glad y'all got the new addition, but yeah, that kind of sucks for the rest of the the other 32 teams in the National Football League. And number 5, this is not a football city per se. I don't know if it's near like a football city. I really have not done the research on this city, but Cape Coral, Florida. I don't know if it's near Jacksonville. I don't know if it's near Tampa Bay, but Jacksonville, Florida, or the Dolphins in Miami. That's crazy that state has 3 major franchises, NFL franchises. That's crazy. That's like California. California's got 2. I think California's bigger than Florida, isn't it? And they've got 2. But anyway, Cape Coral, Florida is number 5. I am, no matter what, if you're near a football franchise or whatever, I'm definitely happy that you guys have joined us on the show. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who is listening in. And your city could be next. Hey, if I see your city and it's on the list of people who listen, you could land on the list of the St. Nick shoutouts. Anyway, thanks anybody who listened. Next up is the Ho 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 holiday headline. And I have quite a few things to talk about today. At first I was kind of scratching and pawing to find things to report on, but then it's like the news just kind of rolled out and I just had so much to talk about. So anyway, we're just going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to talk about is that can you believe there are fewer than 100 shopping days until Christmas? Fewer than 100 shopping days until Christmas. I lost the count on the bubble. I want to say 100 days happened like 2 weeks ago. And so now we're definitely fewer than 100 days. But trouble is on the horizon. So my recommendation is shop early because we just do not know what is going to happen towards the end of this year. We may have a government shutdown. And we may have a tariff mess on our hands by the end of the year. So this is as much a reminder to me as it is to everyone who's listening, which is if you want to give gifts and you want to make sure that you're not paying an excessive price, shop early. Shop early. That's all I have to say about that. Shop early. All right, number 2 on my list is Advent calendar. So you guys know every year, I don't know if you know or not, but if you don't know, here's the news. Every year I buy an Advent calendar. In the past few years, it has been food related or chocolate candy related, right? I've bought one for the dogs. They're usually like those grain-free, clean treats for the dogs, and they just love them. And normally the calendar is like 24 days, so every day at the same time they would get a treat, and they would just love it. Oh my gosh, there'd be some happy dogs. So I always bought one for them. I always bought one for my son, and then I always bought one for myself. And mine were like, I think the last 2 years have been shortbread 1 year, chocolate 1 year, like those Linder truffles. Oh my goodness, I had that 1 year. So good. And then I want to say Ghirardelli chocolate, maybe, or one of those major chocolate makers. I had one of their advent calendars. And so every day, at the end of the day, I would get a piece of chocolate. It was just the most wonderful thing to look forward to, you know. This year, I'm in time to buy a Hallmark advent calendar. This year, Hallmark is releasing a Hallmark Christmas wine advent calendar. I want to say it's around $100. I think it's a little more than $100. And it's 24 days. But it's samples of wine for 24 days. Can you imagine at the end of your day having a little bottle of wine? I think it's enough for like a glass and a little bit, or like a really large glass, or like one like really large glass, which is what it would be for me. I would not be sharing my wine with anyone. I would be having my own wine in a really big glass and I would be pouring all of the bottle for me in a really big glass, and I would drink it. And that I have been looking into wine advent calendars for the past few years, as I said, no, I'm just going to go ahead and have like chocolate or shortbread or whatever. But, you know, Jesus drank wine. So, and it's his season. So I'm going to have some wine, I think. I think I'm going to order the advent calendar, the wine advent calendar. So that's what we're going to have. Okay. So, if you want to order the wine, look at hashtag Chicks on Christmas Flicks. I'm going to leave a link for if you want to order the wine advent calendar along with me. And what I will probably do is at the beginning of the season, starting December 1st, I will leave a post of a picture of me enjoying my one glass of wine per day for 24 days to show you how much I love my wine advent calendar. So stay tuned for that coming up in December, because I am going to break down and buy that wine calendar. All right. The next piece of news is The Way Home. Now, this is non-Christmas movie news, of course, except for this is news that's going to happen in time for Christmas, so it's kind of Christmassy news. The Way Home, you know, with Annie McDowell, that is going to Netflix in time for Christmas. Can you believe that? So, yes. And I actually saw it on Netflix the other day. I was on there for something. I think I was on there to watch With Love, Megan again. And I saw The Way Home there. And I believe there are 3 seasons of The Way Home there. So that's kind of cool. So, yeah. If you haven't seen The Way Home and you don't have Hallmark Plus, but you do have Netflix, you can watch The Way Home on Netflix. All right, the next piece of news is around the Gilmore Girls. So check this out. Lauren Graham, who is, you know, one of the co-stars of the Gilmore Girls, says she'd be down for a new Christmas movie. So, you know, they did that last one. I still have not yet to watch it, although I've seen pieces of it, and I definitely saw that cliffhanger ending. I guess because of that cliffhanger ending, where I don't want to give it away for people who have not seen the cliffhanger ending. I have now seen the cliffhanger ending, and I've now seen the episode with the cliffhanger ending. Not the episode, but it's the movie. It's like A Year in the Life or something like that. I forget. But it kind of shows like the progress of the characters after his show ended, right? And Christmas movie would be then a follow-on to that last movie if they did one. But she says she's down for doing it. I don't know if Alex Bledel, I think that's her name, or Alexis Bledel is down for doing the movie, but she is. And so check this out. I don't know if you knew this. I knew this from looking back because I was like, who wrote this movie? I used to watch Mrs. Maisel on Amazon Prime. Very, very, very funny series. Hilarious series. So I used to watch that, and I was like, who writes that? And it was Amy Palladino, who also wrote for the Gilmore Girls. And they have that rapid pace of dialogue, like the Gilmore Girls has. That's also on Miss Maisel. Well, I don't think it's quite as fast, but it's pretty fast. So, but anyway, so I thought that was interesting, an interesting link between shows that I really love. But the news of the news is really about the Christmas movie, and I really hope they create a Gilmore Girls Christmas movie. Up TV before Hallmark got the Gilmore Girls, Up TV would have the Gilmore the Merrier, and they would have that for, I don't know, several weeks in October through November and in December, centered around the Christmas holiday on Up TV. I don't know if they're going to do something similar to that, but it would be great to have that Christmas movie on Netflix. Let's cross our fingers for that one. NFL. So I've talked about the NFL cities. I've talked about my love for the NFL. I've talked about my love for the Washington Commanders, even though, except for the weeks that they lose, at which time I just ignore them until they win again. Because it's heartbreaking for me. It's not like disloyalty. It's like, you want to talk about misery. I know those guys are miserable, and I'm just miserable with them. But anyway, so the Christmas Day games, I told you, Drew Brees is going to be calling the game for the Christmas Day game on Netflix. Well, he has a company that's going to be showing up. Nate Burleson, who, I don't know if you know Nate. Nate is a former football player, and I want to say he was on CBS. He was a broadcaster on the CBS kickoff show for the NFL. So Nate Burleson's going to be there, and Matt Ryan. I don't know if you remember Matt Ryan from the Falcons. He's going to be on there, and then Ian Eagle. So that is going to round out the team of people that are going to be calling the game for the Christmas games on Netflix. So I'm really excited about that. I did not watch Beyonce Bowl, but I did watch the games on Netflix last year. So I'm really looking forward to the Christmas games this year, especially because the Washington Commanders are going to be playing for Christmas. And I want to say we're playing the Cowboys, which should be a really interesting game, which I'm really kind of glad for that. Michael Parsons is going to be in Green Bay for the game. So thank you, Green Bay, for that. We got a chance to win that one. So, all right. So for the next piece of news, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This is for all my Gen Xers that grew up watching the claymation, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Well, guess what? This year it is leaving CBS. It is going to be moving to NBC. I bought the movies, but aside from buying the movies and watching them on DVD, I've never seen them off of CBS. I've never seen them outside of CBS. Wait a minute. That's false. I've seen them on Freeform. I don't know if they're going to run them on Freeform like they have. But, yeah. Usually I see them on CBS. And now it's moving to NBC. NBC is going to get the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And that is going to play December 6th. So the first week of December, we're getting Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I think that following week is when my Christmas vacation begins. But for December 6th, I will still be working. I can't even tell you guys how much I'm looking forward to my days off in December. Oh my goodness. I'm like counting the days. I'm like, if I had a calendar, I'd be Xing my days till my vacation. I am so ready for a vacation this year. It's just been crazy. Been crazy at work. Okay. And the next piece of news. Remember Taylor Cole and Michael Brady did that movie, Christmas in Homestead? I fell in love with that movie. And I did not think I was going to love it as much as I did. But I actually fell in love with that movie. And Taylor Cole and Michael Brady in it. And I met Michael Brady more than I like Taylor Cole. But in that movie, I liked Taylor Cole at least as much as I like Michael Brady. I loved her character. I loved their relationship and how it kind of blossomed. And then I loved how she kind of handled her ex. Well, I don't know that I would say I love that. What I would say is, I'm glad she handled her ex the way she handled her ex. That was there. But anyway, so but that was a good movie to me. It's like one of my favorite movies of that year. I want to say it was in my top 10 movies of that year that it came out. But anyway, so listen, Taylor and Michael were at that. Remember I told you guys about the small town Christmas convention that was in Dahlonega, Georgia? Well, apparently that's close to where they filmed Christmas in Homestead, and both of them said they were ready to see a follow-up for that movie. They were ready to do the sequel. That movie deserves a sequel. All these other movies deserve sequels. That movie deserves a sequel. So I really hope that Hallmark was listening. If you weren't listening to when they said that now, I hope that you're listening now. When they said that then, I hope you're listening now. So please make Christmas in Homestead a follow-up. I know that you kind of see, because of how the movie ended, right? The movie ended with them kind of coming together as a family. But you know what? The end of 9 Lives of Christmas was a positive ending, and yet you created a sequel for that. Just because you had an ending with a movie with a positive ending does not mean you can't create a sequel. Let me just say that. Okay, now I've got that off my chest. I would love to see that in next year's slate. Just saying, Hallmark. I hope you're listening. Anyway, so check this out. Catherine Bell, remember Catherine Bell? She's done a ton of Christmas movies. I want to say some of my favorites. Home for Christmas Day. Oh my goodness, I literally cried in that movie. Christmas in the Air, I like that one. And then Christmas on Cherry Lane, which I loved, right? We remember her from also The Good Witch, right? Well, she has a jewelry line, and apparently she has had pieces on her Instagram page. So if you go to her Instagram page, you will see where she has promoted her jewelry line. And I will say, I have not seen the jewelry line yet, but it's interesting that she would do the jewelry line given her Good Witch character. If you haven't seen it, or if go check out her Instagram page. If I get time, I will leave a link at #ChicksOnChristmasFlicks so that you can go check out what she's got in store for her jewelry. All right. And the last piece of news. Oh my goodness. And this one is good news. Oh, this is good, happy news. So, remember 3 Wise Men and a Baby. And remember the red-haired companion of Paul Campbell. Fiona Vroom is her name, and she got married after filming The 3 Wisest Men. And let me just tell you, the pictures are freaking adorable. She looks so incredibly happy, and I am happy for her. She married, apparently, a screenwriter for Snowpiercer. His name is Graham Mason. Have you seen Snowpiercer? I want to say it's on like FX or something. I saw like a trailer for it, and I was like, nope, because I didn't want the nightmares. I'm really funny about what I take in, and that looked like action, but it looked a little suspenseful. I'm not a suspense girl, right? I'm not like a true, like there's some suspenses I'll do. Like a Lifetime suspense I could probably watch, right? Because I kind of know those are more formulaic than not, and so you kind of know how to anticipate what's coming. But in Snowpiercer, I was like, no, I don't have a clue, and I'm not watching that. But what I will probably do now that it has, I want to say there are seasons of it, and now that the first season has passed for sure, I remember the first season passing, that there's enough news out there about it that I can watch, and then I can read about it and then watch the show. I have to ruin it for myself in order to watch stuff like that. So I'm gonna ruin it for myself and watch stuff like that just because of Fiona. So Fiona, you have netted your husband a new viewer because it's just you, and it's all your fault, but it's all, you get all the credit for that too. Okay, so that is it for Ho 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 holiday headlines today. I don't know if you could tell, I'm a little stuffy today. I'm usually a stuffy, I don't know why. Anytime I do the show, all of a sudden I have an allergic reaction. And my nose starts running and stuff, and my sinuses start going crazy. I don't know if it's where I'm sitting or what, but every time it never fails. And so now I have like sinuses with a little headache. And if I go sit in my bed or on the other side of the room, it will probably go away. But it's here. So anyway, we're going to get through it. Anyway, so that was it for Ho 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 holiday headlines. And now it's time to talk about some of the movies coming in. In the second part of the show, I will be listing out all of the Up TV movies that are coming this year. Tell you what I know about them. Talk about the premise. Talk about the schedule. All right. So the first one I want to talk about is Katie Leclerc. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but I love Katie Leclerc. I think my love for her goes back from when I watched Cloudy with the Chance of Love. Cloudy with the Chance of Love. I probably watched her in more than that, I'm sure. I know she did the Switched at Birth series, right? But I loved her in Cloudy with the Chance of Love. And then there's almost nothing. Oh, Christmas a la Mode. That was on Lifetime. I bought that movie. I actually have it still on my Amazon Prime account. So I love Katie Leclerc. I love her in the movies, and I love her when John Stimson is the director. So anyway, she did a movie this year. She's done a couple over the last couple of years for Hallmark. But I was waiting for the movie this year. When I went to look it up, she had done a movie, but it wasn't for Hallmark. But it was on Nicely Entertainment, and it was called a Cherry Pie Christmas, and it starred Katie Leclerc, right? Well, guess what? Great American Media has picked up a Cherry Pie Christmas, and for the Great American Christmas, and now it's called a Wisconsin Christmas Pie. So what I will tell you is, if you want to know what a Wisconsin Christmas pie is about, a Cherry Pie Christmas, the trailer is out for a Cherry Pie Christmas, and it's been out for a while, and I saw it months ago. So if you want to see what that movie is going to be about, check out a Cherry Pie Christmas trailer, and you will see what a Wisconsin Christmas Pie is all about. It's the same movie. Okay? All right. The next piece of movie is uh, Jessica Chastain and Octavia Spencer are coming out with a new movie. And also in this movie is Wanda Sykes, who I love. She is hilarious, right? But this is the first outing, first movie that Octavia and Jessica have done since The Help. Do you remember The Help? When The Help came out, there was all this controversy. The book came out. I bought the book. I watched the movie. I loved them both. I love the story. But anyway, so they're coming out with a Christmas movie this year. It's got to be a feature film. I cannot imagine Octavia Spencer, who I think has won an Oscar, right? And if Jessica hasn't won one, she should have won one. Okay. So I can't imagine them being in a movie together and it not being a feature film. So I'm thinking it's a feature film. But it's called Deck the Y'alls. Deck the Y'alls, as in you-alls, y'alls. And it's about a talented New York City baker's romance with a younger Southern man. It faces complications when she meets his mother, a renowned chef and protective matriarch, during Christmas in Charleston, South Carolina. So I'm excited about that one for multiple reasons. But seeing Octavia and Jessica, I mean, I think that's pretty good timing. Even though, they haven't done anything together since the Help, they haven't worn us out either, right? They're not overexposed together. It's been a while, so I think everybody will be looking forward to seeing those two together and Deck the Y'alls. All right, in the next movie, now being shot, from what I understand, is Netflix's A Dog's Perfect Christmas. And it's told from the dog's perspective, right? Which I'm excited about. I don't know. If it's now being shot, it's probably not going to come out for this Christmas season. It'll probably be out for next Christmas season. But because the news came out, I just wanted to talk about it. I mean, there's been a couple of feature films out that are from the dog's perspective, and they've been both so good. Tear jerkers for sure, but good. So I'm looking forward to A Dog's Perfect Christmas and to see how this comes out. But anyway, so that's coming on Netflix. Stay tuned for that. Okay, the trailer. Now, I told you guys about this 2 shows ago. Christmas Karma, which is being directed by the maker of Bend It Like Beckham. You remember I told you guys about that? And I told you guys about all the stars are going to be in that movie. And I think I even have the movie poster on the thumbnail. Well, the trailer is out. So I believe I shared the trailer at Chicks on Christmas Flicks. If I haven't, then I will. And you can look at hashtag Chicks on Christmas Flicks and watch the trailer. I'm telling you, I cannot wait for that movie. All right, now, in the next piece of news, listen, this person, Leif Bristow, he makes some of the best movies. So the last movie I remember seeing his name on for sure is The Royal Nanny. I don't know if you guys remember The Royal Nanny from Hallmark, but it starred Rachel Skarsten, if you remember. It has starred her she played a royal nanny who was in charge. She was in the royal security services, and she was charged with protecting the royal family. Well, so Leif Bristow, so we're probably all familiar with Brittany Bristow, who really does a lot of movies for Hallmark. She's done several for UpTV. I think she's even been on Lifetime. I want to say her last movie or 2 has been on Lifetime, right? Well, so Leif is directing or has directed a new Christmas movie called Pining for Douglas. You get it? Pining for Douglas, the tree, Douglas fir trees. Okay, so um, apparently Brittany, so they've got their own star in the family. Brittany Bristow uh, is in this story about a 60-foot Douglas fir tree that is threatened when a tech company buys the property is on. Brittany plays Holly, a social media expert who returns home for the holidays. She discovers the tree is in jeopardy and rallies the community to save it. The premise, if you think about it, the premise reminds me of that Ashley Williams movie. She was with Trevor Donovan. What is the name of that movie? Uh, Remember, she protected the big old tree, and it was a fall movie. The name of it escapes me right now. I guess it's, either I'm on too early or I'm too late. Now it's probably too late. But the premise of this movie, Pining for Douglas, reminds me of that. Okay? So it's interesting. What I saw was that this movie is expected to be distributed at Hallmark. But we just saw the Hallmark Christmas list, and this movie is not on that list. So I think maybe they'll show it on regular Hallmark, and they'll just change the programming projection once the final list comes out. Or this could be on Hallmark Plus, right? Remember, I was like, well, where are the movies that they're gonna make that are gonna be on Hallmark Plus, that they're gonna pull from Hallmark Plus to create the Christmas in July and then next year's countdown to Christmas? Well, this could be one of those movies. So I am anxiously awaiting the final schedule to see where this one lands. But my guess right now is Pining for Douglas, directed by Lee Bristow and starring Brittany Bristow. If it's gonna be distributed by Hallmark, it's gonna be a Hallmark Plus movie this season, and then it may hit the Hallmark Channel during Christmas in July or next Christmas season. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right about that. I don't know, but I might be. All right, and so the last movie I have for this segment is Fathers of the Bride. Fathers of the Bride, a Yuletide wedding comedy. It's directed by Paul A. Hart, and it follows the story of Leo and Rich. So this is going to be a modern story. Dads, Leo and Rich, Michelle's two dads. Michelle is getting married, but initially she wants to skip the ceremony. Amidst the chaos of organizing their yearly Christmas bash, her dads persuade Michelle to opt for a grand wedding, fulfilling their own dreams of the elaborate ceremony they never had. So, okay. So they're going to be over involved, and they're going to make the whole thing miserable for poor Michelle. We already know that's coming. Chaos ensues. Boom. Told you. And a less than pleasant feud erupts between Rich and his sister-in-law, Angela, who is truly a real family member and thus qualified to plan the wedding. Despite the ups and downs, lessons are learned, and audiences can expect a heartwarming and happy ending. West Hollywood's own Dr. Christmas, aka Bob Pranga, plays a role spoofing his own career as a Christmas decorator. All right, I'm excited to see that one. We'll see where that lands. All right. I'm going to take a quick break, but I'll be right back to talk about my UPTV movies coming. All right, stay tuned. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, but I'll be right back to talk about UPTV movies. Stay tuned. It's Christmas in July, and what better way to spend it than reading a holiday story that begins in July and takes us all the way through the big day. As Nikki approaches her 50th birthday, Christmas in July, a sudden revelation sparked by more than just summer heat sends her life into a tailspin. The achievements she once prided herself on, a home, a car, now feel hollow. Her vision board, once a hopeful map for the future, now seems like wasted effort. Her job is no longer fulfilling. Nikki's got it bad. To top it off, her boyfriend Smith proposes, but she's not even sure about him. What should be a celebratory milestone becomes a plunge into despair and a brush with her guardian angel, Jesus, and some sweet potato pie. You've got to read the book to find out the details. I'm just saying. Her guardian angel delivers an ultimatum: find her second act by Christmas Eve. Failure means she'll spend the rest of her life with dark days. I mean, who wants to live the rest of their life in dark days? With fear of eternal hot flashes threatening her days and nights, she takes on the challenge. Embarking on her second act leads Nikki into the gravitational pull of Evan Goodman, the hot doctor who makes her feel content, and Jordan Devlin, her first love who ignites passion or a dangerous spark. I mean, in the game of love, who can tell the difference? Caught between the safety of contentment and, well, fire, Nikki must make heart-wrenching choices. Time ticks away as she navigates the path from Christmas in July to Christmas Eve, desperately seeking her true calling, chasing her dreams, and discovering which romantic interest will help her bloom into the best version of herself. The Nick Before Christmas is a hopeful romantic comedy with a little bit of Jesus and sweet potato pie and a whole lot of self-discovery. This enchanting narrative is the perfect holiday read to fill your heart with the warmth of Christmas love. And now, back to Chicks on Christmas Flicks. And welcome back to Chicks on Christmas Flicks. In the previous segment, I talked about a variety of movies that are coming out: Netflix, Hallmark, feature films, the whole nine, right? In this segment, we're really going to focus on UPTV and the new slate of movies coming up this year. So, UPTV is going to host a Christmas marathon on October 30th and 31st. Okay, this will be not the week after, but 2 weeks after Countdown to Christmas begins, which is on October 17th. So 2 weeks after Countdown to Christmas begins, we're going to have our first Christmas marathon of the year on UPTV, right? They are claiming 50 hours of programming for the whole season and 9 movies new to UPTV. New to UPTV. Not necessarily new, but they're going to be new to UPTV. All right. So let me run down the movies that they have scheduled for this year. The first one is The Great Christmas Snowin'. It stars Joey Lawrence. We love Joey. I just finished watching a show. I think it was their podcast. It's the Lawrence Brothers podcast. So it's Joey, Matthew, and the other brother. That's terrible. I know. He hates that too. But Joey, so they're doing a podcast, and they had Chili from TLC on there because Chili and Matthew are dating. Anyway, so it's cool to see Joey starring in this one, especially a Christmas movie, because we love Joey. He's been in a lot of Christmas movies. So Joey Lawrence, Ricardo Chavez, and Amanda Fuller. After his engagement is called off, Justin retreats to a secluded cabin for his honeymoon, only to be snowed in with Jane, his ex-fiance's cousin. So Amanda Fuller, she was one of the daughters, did the other show, The Last Man Standing. That's it. She was the daughter on The Last Man Standing. Anyway, I thought that was interesting because I haven't seen her on a Christmas movie before, so this is a first. Anyway, so Justin calls off his wedding. His engagement is called off. He didn't say he called it off. He said his engagement was called off, and he retreated to the secluded cabin, and he runs into his ex-fiance's cousin. As tension builds, a spark forms between them, but when Justin's ex arrives with her new boyfriend, things get more complicated. That's got to be complicated. In close quarters of the cabin, I mean, can you imagine? Y'all all stuck together. It not only stuck together, but stuck together in a little cabin. Oh my goodness. Secrets unravel, leading to unexpected discoveries about love and second chances. Wow. Sounds interesting. All right, the second movie on the list is A Royal Christmas with Brianna Cohen, Kirk Barker, and it's Jennifer. Come on, man. They really need to have a pronunciation in parentheses for that, because I don't have that. Anyway, Prince Alexander of Fredonia escapes to a cozy inn, hoping to experience a traditional American Christmas. Katie, who runs the inn, falls for him, completely unaware of his royal identity. Of course she is. Of course she's unaware. Of course she falls in love with him. I mean, that's the whole purpose, right? All right. The number 3 movie on the list is Saving the Christmas Ranch. This one is supposed to premiere in November. And you know, in general on UPTV, they have one new movie per weekend, and that is usually at 7 p.m. on Sunday. This one is Saving the Christmas Ranch. It stars Brianna Cohen, Jonathan Stoddard, Kirby Schwarber, and it's about when the accountant for Carrie Williams' family, Christmas Lodge, makes off with all their money. Carrie has just 2 days to come up with 9 months of missing mortgage payments or be foreclosed upon. Charming developer John Dunn has been calling Carrie from afar for a while, and now he's here in person to make an offer on the ranch she can hardly refuse. Can Carrie raise enough funds before the deadline to save her home, or will she be forced to sell to John, who hasn't been entirely truthful about how he came to be there? Interesting. A Royal Christmas Hope. It's movie number 4. This is the following weekend. So this is November 23rd. I think Thanksgiving is the following weekend. So this is the weekend before Thanksgiving. This stars Jenna Michno, Robert Adamson, Kayla Fields. At Christmas time in New York City, Julia Carter runs a non-profit helping families in need. Still grieving her husband, she fights to keep hope alive, especially through her non-profit work and the annual tree lighting. Across the ocean, Prince Christopher escapes royal duties for a break in the U.S. When a chance meeting sparks connection, their bond deepens, and secrets and holidays pressures force them to face what truly matters. That's A Royal Christmas Hope. All right, that's number 4. Movie number 5 out of 9, The Christmas Checklist. I'm actually looking forward to this one. It stars Sarah Power and Jared Joseph. A grieving daughter receives a Christmas checklist from her recently deceased mom with 12 activities she must complete before Christmas. I want to say Hallmark had a movie with a similar theme from Emily Ullerup. She starred in that movie, but I can't remember the name of it right now. So similar theme, but they're always different. When you watch them, they're like, oh wow, it sounded the same, but it was completely different. So I'm expecting the same here. But the premise of it, I love. That interests me. the Christmas checklist. Okay, number 6 out of 9, A Christmas in Amish Country. Should be interesting. It stars Ellen Cannon and Jason Tobias. When a rising chef's career implodes after a harsh review, she returns to her Amish roots in rural Pennsylvania, only to find healing through slow cooking techniques and the comforts of home, including rekindling a friendship with the sweet Amish farmer she left behind. That sounds good. Movie number 7 out of 9 is A Christmas Murder Mystery, and it premieres December 7th. It stars Jamie Bernadette, Morgan Bradley, Rob Mays, and Vivica A. Fox. So if you wondered where a Vivica A. Fox Christmas movie was, it's right here on UPTV. So Vera Vexley Bradley is the editor of the Metropolitan Ledger's puzzle section and a part-time consulting detective for the local sheriff's office. This year, she has been invited to spend the holidays with friends, the Sterlings, a wealthy family who appears to be hiding enough secrets to stuff a sleigh. Vera soon finds herself helming a murder investigation when someone is found dead on Christmas morning, putting her at odds with the quick-tempered and distraught family members. Can Vera find the culprit before the holiday turns even more deadly? Now, that sounds like a total left, except for the fact that I have seen Ion. The Ion channel, before they quit showing Christmas movies, they had like a slew of Christmas mysteries like this, and I thought that was going to be their thing, like they were going to be the Christmas mystery channel, but I haven't seen one in a while, so I'm excited to see this movie. I wonder, no, the movie I saw on Ion didn't have Vivica A. Fox in it, so I think this is actually new, but it'll be interesting to see. But I'm interested to see it only because, I'm really not into Christmas murder mysteries. Like, to me, I don't take the Christ out of Christmas, right? That's just not how I roll. But, so to me, like, murder mysteries are like the antithesis of what the holiday is supposed to be about. With that said, who's to say bad things don't happen at Christmas time? Sometimes they do, right? So yeah, I'll be interested in checking that out. But yeah, so I'll be interested in checking that out. All right, number 8 out of 9 is Christmas in Big Sky Country. That's on December 14th. It stars Rebecca Dalton. She's a favorite on Hallmark Channel. Oliver Renaud. He's a favorite of UpTV. Sean Johnston, Becca Collins. Becca Collins, that's Dalton, collaborates with Logan Johnston Renaud, the oil company's new PR agent, to ensure her brother-in-law returns home safely for the holiday after an incident on an oil rig. Can Becca trust Logan's intentions? Now, that sounds interesting. That's like a different premise, right? I might check that out. And then the last movie, 9 out of 9, is Christmas with the Knightleys. Now, I want to say, I remember this being on like a Paramount Plus or a Peacock or, I don't know, one of those other streamers, right? The name just sounds super familiar, but I'm not sure that it was like ever popular on one of those streaming services. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the same movie. But Christmas with the Knightleys premieres Sunday, December 21st. So that's right before Christmas at 7 p.m. It stars Celeste Desjardins. And, she was in the Christmas, it was the Hallmark Plus movie about the figure skater. She starred in that one. And Joe Scarpolino, Brian Cook. Okay, so Georgia Jackson hopes to put on a Christmas showcase with her students, but finds herself in the spotlight when in exchange for a new community center, she agrees to pose as the girlfriend of Chase Knightley, the famous son of a billionaire. All right. And that was 9 out of 9. Christmas with the Knightleys. So, UpTV sounds like it has a pretty good slate. Now, the past couple of, I will say, UpTV kind of let me down after they had the no cookie cutter Christmas movies, and I loved every single last one. And they were truly no cookie cutter Christmas movies. They were different from everything else on every other channel, and I loved them for that. And then they gave up the whole no cookie cutter Christmas. I don't know if they got tired of being different, but after that, I just kind of their movies to me turned into what Hallmark's movies first were. Right. And so I quit looking at them because they weren't as different and wonderful as they used to be. But this year I'm going to give it a try. I think last year I probably watched a few more than I had watched the year before. And so this year I'm going to try and watch UpTV movies. So I'm excited to see what comes out this year. This year I am really going to slow down, sit down, enjoy my Christmas vacation, and watch the movies. I am truly going to watch the movies and sit around and do a big bag of nothing. I'm going to get up early. I bought a Peloton. I'm going to get on my Peloton in the morning. And then the rest of the day, I'm going to spend in my pajamas, drinking hot cocoa, eating popcorn, and completely undoing everything I did on the Peloton. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. Please stay tuned. There's more news coming. I am really looking forward to the joint list when it comes out. As soon as it comes out, as soon as I see news about it, as soon as it comes out, which it should be coming out soon in October, then I will be talking to you guys about what the final list looks like from the combined networks that are releasing Christmas movies. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you to my music and show editor, Will B. He created all the custom music for the show. He's at Wildcard Music, and you can find his IG page in the show notes. Until next time, remember, at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review on your favorite platform, and tell your Christmas movie loving friends about this show. Where can you find me? Find us. I'm so happy you asked. Podcast platforms: Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, and many, many more. See the link in the show notes. Follow show on Twitter and IG at Chicks Christmas Flicks. CHX Christmas FLX. Thank you for listening in, and I will talk to you next week.